Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Hey, you guys, welcome back. I guess welcome back to me because it's been a minute since I have spoken to you guys and held this microphone because, as you know, the last episode that I filmed with Debbie was filmed a few weeks ago, so it's been almost a month since I have spoken to you directly and done a solo episode, and I've definitely missed it, but it's been nice having a little break, and I'm ready to start a new era of the podcast, of my life. I'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the episode, but I have a lot to update you guys on, and I also want to start by saying, just like the season finale of season 1, I'm not going to edit this episode, so go easy on me. I'm doing that for a few reasons. The first one, because I'm lazy and editing sucks. And the second one being that I really just want to be more vulnerable and work on being more comfortable being seen and being okay, being accepted and not accepted for exactly who I am, which is if, ands, buts, ums, stutters, pauses, and all. So that's the example that I want to set, and that's the kind of person that I want to be. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start with an oracle card, and then I'll fill you guys in. I have some handmade DIY flashcards of some of the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram and some of the topics that I just want to talk about. But like I said, let's get started with a tarot card. Okay, I have to put this microphone. Bear with me. Okay. I guess I'll put that there for now. Damn. Okay, I better do this quick because I can't cut out time. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we got one. Pivot. That's such an interesting one. Sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How could you pivot even just a little bit? Okay. I think that is applicable because I just talked about rebranding. I'm definitely pivoting in some areas of life, specifically, as you guys know, like career, everything. I feel like I'm pivoting in every area of life constantly. And I'm trying to pick one of those pivots and one of those tracks that'll work, but constantly tweaking and adjusting. And we've talked about this all of last season, basically being okay with change and having a goal and sticking to that goal, but being okay with how you get there not being exactly as you picture it. So that's a good place to start. Now let me update you guys just a little bit on the last few weeks before I get into some of my topics. So as you know, and sorry, excuse my munching, I am trying to get a carrot tan. I don't know if you guys have seen the TikTok trends at all, but I'm going to try it. Eating some carrots every day will give you a tan basically from the inside out, so you avoid some of that dangerous sun exposure. Even though I am a sun girl, I love my vitamin D, and I'm not going to give it up. But if I can have a really healthy tan and get my other vitamins while I do it, why not try? I like carrots. So anyways, here's some ASMR for you guys as well. So obviously the US Open happened a few weeks ago, and I went. There's a little bit more of a backstory to everything. I'm not fully ready to get into all the details, but maybe I'll write about it in my book one day, so you guys have to read it if you want to know. But look, the bottom line is what I said in the Instagram video that I posted is all true. So whoever was in charge made a decision, and they didn't want me on the Jumbotron this year. I am trying not to take it personally. And I know that there is some controversy around this whole thing, which is silly. I think it's silly. But look, no, like it's fine. It's totally fine. I am at peace with it. And part of me, and this is going to be sad for those of you guys who have been such awesome fans. I really appreciate you. But part of me was like a little bit relieved. Just, I don't know. There's a lot of pressure and talk around it beforehand. You know how I was feeling. And look, one door closes, another one opens, because I made peace with it. I was like, you know what? This is God and the universe telling me, okay, it's time to pivot and be more of you. I feel like on Instagram, I've really only been showing one dimension of myself and trying to cater to all these followers that I have that I got through this whole Beer Girl thing. I felt like I owed them to like be the person that they followed when they started following me. But I'm evolving, and who I thought I wanted to be on Instagram is also evolving. So look, I'm still going to be cool, sexy beer girl, but that's just part of me. I have so much more that I really want to share. And one of you guys, it's in here somewhere, asked about yoga. And I definitely want to start posting more yoga and advice content. And I started, I want to start doing more of what I learned in life coaching. I want to take that into my, what I post on Instagram and TikTok. So, and here's the thing. I need to be totally, fully okay with losing some of those followers who followed me for the reason and for whatever they expected they were going to get out of the follow in the first place. I am okay with letting go of those people. I am me, and if they want to be here for me, cool, great, welcome. But I'm in an era of being my best self, and I want to attract and align with people who are also wanting to be their best selves. Okay, so it won't hurt to post some cute fire bikini pics every now and then, but not all of that, and not just the highlights and those moments, but more of the other sides of me. So that's my idea for rebranding. It's harder than you would think to actually break out of the shell and put yourself out there in these ways, especially when you have a lot of eyes on you and a lot of people who feel entitled to a certain side of you, even though they have no right to. So anyways, it's hard, it's slow, it's a slow process, but I'm getting there, and I'm excited to share that side of me with you guys. So that, oh my gosh, and that was the first question that was on top. And I have been teaching more and more yoga at the studio that I was telling you guys about last season, and I'm really excited about that. It's still really, like, I get really nervous before every class that I teach, but I get better every time. Like, I truly do. And you know how at the beginning of me auditioning, I was super nervous and trying to work on my getting off the mat more and cutting out some of my ing verbs. Well, I really did challenge myself. My boss, the studio owner, Jill, was in the studio last week before one of my classes, and she was like, why don't you challenge yourself to sit the whole class, like bring a chair in and sit the whole class and say your commands from there. And I was like, oh God, all right. So no demoing at all. It was a big challenge for me, but I crushed it. I did it, and I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. I'm still like, I'm a teacher who likes to demo. I really do enjoy demoing, so I'm not going to totally cut it out. But now I feel more comfortable getting off my mat and being able to teach from a variety of settings, if that makes any sense. So that's been great. I also am really getting to know myself better through teaching and feeling more confident in teaching. I love being creative and having a different theme for every class that comes to me. And I feel like it's a great way. Excuse me. Oh my God. No cutting it out. The burp stays, even though it was silent. So it's okay. But yeah, I feel more confident, and I feel like it's a good way for me to like channel my spirituality, and all these sides of me that I love and I'm really excited about getting into. It feels so right. So right. And I do like a little different class every time. And I love connecting with people through it. So yeah, that's exciting. Another exciting thing, and one of my friends, you know who you are, asked if I can lead a yoga wellness session. And I will. I'm probably going to start live streaming some yoga classes. So if you're interested in that, I will share more info on that soon. And I'm really excited about that. I'll be creative. You guys can be my guinea pigs. And I'll try new themes out. I'll practice on you. And if you like yoga, there you go. So I'll fill you in more on that soon. I also have some other projects in the back burner right now. Again, I'm trying to focus on so many things at once. So I got to narrow it down. But yeah, so more yoga and life coaching content to come. Lots more in different platforms. Okay, next topic and question. Okay. Okay. I already talked about that. Here's one. Oh, I don't know the answer to this. I wrote some of these from Instagram, and I just was like, oh, I like this question. I didn't think about my answers ahead of time, which was probably stupid. So, okay, here are two ones. I'll do these two now. Who inspires you the most and why? That is such a good question. Again, you know who you are who asked this, and I love this question. I actually find this question to be difficult because someone else asked me something similar recently. We were talking about being an influencer and what direction I want to go with my accounts. And they were like, oh, whose account do you like the most that you like want to sort of model yours after? And I was like, that's the thing. There isn't one particular Instagram account or just celebrity or person in general that I feel like I totally align with my vision of what I want to be. But there are definitely people that I like draw lots of inspiration from. So, and I find to empower me in my visions in different ways and different elements of who they are and who they're becoming are inspiring to me. So, you know who I really like? Jay Shetty. He inspires me a lot. I just love his content. I think it's very relatable. He was a monk turned podcaster, like influential person, influencer, and wrote books. One sitting up there. It's really good. It's the eight Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. I read it. You guys know about that. And I think he's great. And he has a lot of powerful lessons and wisdom that he's sharing with the world. And he has all these he's making money off of it, which he's doing it in a pure way. And that's what I want to do. Like I need to make some money, you guys. I need to make some money. And I'm going to. I have faith. But it's all just falling into place at the right time. And I have to be patient. And it'll happen when it happens. Okay? So Jay Shetty. I also love Alex Cooper. She has created an amazing podcast for so many people that are able to relate to the content that she posts and the conversations and interviews that she conducts. Her career trajectory has been inspiring to me. Like there's a lot of elements about how she is as a podcaster that definitely inspire me. Who else? I like Oprah. Again, another interviewer. So, interesting. Oh, they're all podcasters and interviewers, but like, I mean, yeah, they're all people that I like different elements about them that I want to emulate or that I see. And I don't mean to be narcissistic, but I read this in a book somewhere that like pick someone that you are really inspired by and write out what your favorite traits about them are and realize that you wouldn't like those traits and you wouldn't notice those traits if you didn't have the model for it within yourself. So maybe it's suppressed in there, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's one of your best traits too. Okay, I promise I didn't edit it, but the video just stopped. Anyways, I'm going to stop blabbering. I like Oprah too. Obvious reasons, I feel like. So, next question. Okay. The next question is, how do you keep up with positivity? And I like that one too. This one, I feel like I have a different answer now than I would have last year, because I feel like it's been pushed and challenged more this year and in the last few weeks than it ever has. And that's saying a lot. But I feel like I've done so much work on myself this year that when Beer Girl's situation came around, I thought I would be way more equipped to handle it. And I was, just not in the way that I thought I was going to be. So bouncing back was a lot easier for me this year when I get in those like little negative spirals from like the hate and the stupid comments that I read and whatever. So it was and I also, it kind of leads me into another thing I want to share, because you guys, I told you at the end of last season that I wanted to do a book of the week, so I will. And in my book of the week this week, it is Cinderella You Bitch, which is an amazing self-help book, especially if you are in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship. It is so transformative. I really like how direct it is and funny about it is. And it teaches so many valuable lessons about yourself that you need to learn before and while you're in a relationship. So you got to be the best version of yourself. And it gives you the hard truth about that. And I like it a lot. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. They talk about this one concept called thought swapping. And they talk about why they think thought swapping is better than affirmations for like positivity and manifestation. And I really liked it. So thought swapping is basically where you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern or spiral and you swap it for something more positive. And being able to be aware and catch yourself in those moments is the hardest part. But once you start to do that, it is so much more useful and easy for your brain to wrap your head around, rather than these affirmations that are sometimes wild and things that you haven't started to like actually do yet or whatever. So thought swapping. Another concept along those same lines, which I found really, really fascinating, is they provided a scale, and I better find this quick. They provided a scale basically that talks about all the different like feelings and emotions that we have, and which, it's like 20 of them, and which ones of them are the highest vibrating frequencies and which ones are the lowest vibrating frequencies, and how sometimes when we need to like thought swap and when we need to transfer a negative thought or emotion and try and change our state into a more positive one, sometimes we try to jump from like despair all the way to joy, and that's not possible. So sometimes you got to just jump up a couple notches on the scale, and even that can do wonders for your state and improving. Okay, I found it. Whoo! Okay. It's called the Abraham Hicks Emotional Guidance Scale. And yeah, 1 to 22. And I'm going to read the top 3 and the bottom 3 because they might surprise you. They definitely surprised me. The top 3, the first one it's got a lot in one, and they all make sense. Joy, appreciation, empowerment, freedom, and love. That is number 1, all of those. And doesn't that make sense? It totally makes sense. And that's the goal. So whenever you're feeling those things, really enjoy them and really enjoy that frequency and try to feel them more if you can. So the second one is passion, another very powerful frequency and emotion. And the third one is enthusiasm, eagerness, and happiness. Fantastic. And then the fourth one for fun is positive expectation and belief. So another reason why it's so important to be choosy with the things that you believe. And it's important to be positive, like we're talking about. Okay, and then the bottom three, I'll give you the bottom three first. It says jealousy is number 20, which I think is surprisingly low on that list. There's so many. You can Google the scale. 21 is insecurity, guilt, unworthiness. Again, insecurity is the second lowest frequency state of being. Yikes. And it makes sense. It consumes us in a lot of what we do a lot of the time. And then 22 is fear, grief, desperation, despair, and powerlessness. Again, fear, because it's in so much that we do. And stomping it out is important, and overcoming those fears by leaning into them is necessary so that we can stop operating in that low frequency. And these are all under, mind you, the fourth one up, number 19, is hatred and rage. Those are all under hatred and rage, and all these other ones, revenge, anger, discouragement, blame, worry, doubt, like insecurity, fear, and jealousy are the bottom three. So isn't that helpful? I found that really interesting. So again, like when you need to thought swap, you can't go straight from fear to joy. Like you might need to go from fear to worry, which is up a significant amount, or disappointment, but you're still moving in the right direction. And you can be kinder with yourself and not be expecting you to go from 0 to 100 in, overnight. So this book is the book of the week. Yay. That was another. I'm running out of time. I'm trying to be more diligent about how much time I take for these. Okay. So I answered. Okay. What was something I was told when I was younger to be true that I realize now is not true? See, this one I didn't think about, and now I'm feeling screwed. I might have to think about it and come back to it. I'm going to answer this one. I don't know why I chose this one, but I liked it. Someone asked, is it bad to wish some people ill will? We've all been there at some point in our lives where we're so mad. Like the scale said, revenge was on there. We're so mad, and we have these hard feelings towards someone for doing us wrong or something, and we really, don't like them for whatever reason. However, I think it does you more harm to wish someone else ill will than it does them, and you're probably doing them damage too. But here's what I'll say. I am not immune to this. I think the best thing for this is to genuinely believe in karma. Okay? And don't say, I hope karma gets them. Just trust that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So just believe in karma and know and trust that, look, if you believe that what they did was wrong and who they are is wrong for whatever reason, that they will get what's coming to them. All right. So that's my advice for that. But don't wish them ill will, because then, like I said, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and your thoughts of negativity will also bring you that karma. So next, I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon. Favorite thing to do in New York City. I love any fun date night activity like cooking classes and art classes and random fun things, museums. Just walking around. I know it's probably dangerous for a woman to walk around New York City by herself sometimes, but I do it. I love listening to music and just like feeling the city energy while I walk around. That's one of my favorite things. Okay, a lot of people wrote mean or inappropriate things about my voice or my boobs and just things in general. I'm going to stop asking if my boobs are real or if they're fake. If they were fake, I would have made them even sizes. So no, they're not fake. But just because I have them and just because they're pictured in some of my photos doesn't give you the right to like poke and prod and ask me all these questions about them. I mean, you're allowed to say whatever you want, but like, you know, like don't. So they're just a part of me. And my voice, yeah, you know, like I was born with this voice and I think it's sexy. So F off. Okay. And then what was the one that I skipped? What was something I was told when I was younger to be true that I realize now is not? I feel like there's so many answers that just nothing is coming to my mind right now. Okay, why don't I save that one and come back to it because I am definitely running out of time. So, yay, I can't wait. I'll fill you guys more in next time. I feel like this went by so quickly, which is great. And I'll do another solo episode next week and then bring some more guests on. I'm really excited. I have really fun ideas for upcoming guests, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So, yeah, love you guys. See you next time. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.